Hello, welcome to Comcast Newsmakers, bringing you news and information from people making a difference in our communities. I'm Beverly Weaver, and joining me now is Anthony Powell, Artistic Director for Stories on Stage. Welcome, Anthony. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Beverly.
Let's begin with what Stories on Stage is.
Well, it's sometimes hard to describe. We take short literature, great stories, and we link them up with professional actors, and we'll do 3 or 4 in a performance where we've linked the stories, you know, a common theme or a common thread. And our audience loves it.
Yeah.
A lot of our people say it's like being read to when you were a kid, a bedtime story.
Right. Where do you actually perform Stories on Stage,
We're down on Sundays. We're down at the Denver Center Theater, and then on Saturdays we just started with Su Teatro at the Denver Civic, partnering up with Tony Garcia, which has been great.
Right, and you do different stories and really a monthly performance, I understand, right?
That's right, about middle of the month.
Yeah. So you attract an audience. Do you see a lot of people returning, repeat audience members who say, wow, I love the last story and
absolutely
want to come back for more?
Yeah, and we've got a great bunch of subscribers. And, you know, we find that you do marketing, and that's wonderful, but the best times are when somebody gets turned on by the shows and brings a friend.
Yeah.
And then they go, because it's kind of, the idea of being read a story to is kind of unusual, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. In terms of the special events that you have coming up this year, what do you have coming up special for the stories?
Well, this is our 10th anniversary season, so we're celebrating that with a show next month, a special show, kind of a, you know, celebration of the 10 years, because this company started out of virtually nothing. It was an idea.
Yeah. And how do you choose the stories that you're telling, and then go and choose that actor to do that story?
Yeah, well, we try to get a wide mix of things. We're always looking for entertainment. We try to get humor in, moving stuff that's heartfelt. And so that's what I'm always looking for. And, you know, short stories are such a great snapshot of, you know, another person's life. Just a little snapshot, and you can spend some time in their shoes.
Yeah. What kind of stories? Give me some of the more popular stories that you've actually told on stage.
Well, we actually, last year we did a thing, T.C. Boyle is a popular, he writes comic stories and serious ones. And last year we did one called Sorry Fugu, which is about a New York restaurateur and the hell he goes through as he opens this restaurant. And John Rubinstein came from New York to do it and had the audience laughing, you know, straight through. It was great.
Yeah, and it took longer to tell the story than normally it would.
Yes,
right?
It took much longer. And he actually told me later that he didn't think the story was funny until the audience started laughing, and then he turned
to that. How do actors really have to be tuned in to do that job? Because it's much different than getting on stage and doing a normal performance, it sounds like.
I mean, the great thing about Stories on Stage is the actors relate to the audience in a very different, very direct way. Now, they find that a thrill, but you are reading a story for 20, sometimes 30 minutes, and it is like a mini marathon. Yeah. And it's always funny when, you know, inevitably you'll stumble on a word, and then the dominoes start falling, and they have to kind of get back. But it's a lot of concentration. And
do they get into character as well, Anthony? Is this something where they really dress the part?
Absolutely. I mean, that's, you know, you read a story, hearing it out loud with an actor is a whole different experience. And part of that is because they're acting out every character. I mean, sometimes you think it's a little bit like, you know, audio, books on audio, but live and with an audience, and that's where the excitement comes from.
Yeah, and are there stories for special audiences? Are you starting to kind of get into some niche performances with maybe children's stories, that kind of thing?
Well, we just did our first children's piece at Su Teatro a couple of months ago, and it was a bilingual piece because we've been hearing that the community doesn't get a lot of that. And we made the tickets very low priced, and it went over big time. Yeah. We were packed, and we're going to try to do more next year.
Yeah. And as an artistic director, what are the challenges that you really face in putting a show like this together and doing it for a number of years in a row?
Well, I'm new to the job this year. This is my first year. And so I inherited a group of stories. So right now, if I'm not reading a short story, I'm feeling guilty. Because
you have to review your material.
Yeah. You know, and that's the big challenge, is kind of finding out what'll work for an audience and what won't.
Yeah. Where can people go to get more information, Anthony?
Our website is storiesonstage.org. All right. And all the info's there.
Very, very good information. Anthony Powell, Artistic Director for Stories on Stage. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Beverly Weaver.